We now welcome in Quincy Jenkins, who's transferring to JMU from Campbell, was a 3-year starter there along the offensive line. Quincy, thanks for taking the time.
Appreciate you having me.
So I guess let's start with why JMU and sort of what the portal process was like for you. When did you enter, and who were some of the schools that reached out to you?
Um, I entered, I want to say early January.
Yeah.
So a couple schools that had offered me was like New Mexico, Akron, Illinois State, North Carolina Central, and a couple other schools. But I went on my visit to JMU this weekend and pretty much locked it in with them. Just the environment, and I heard nothing but good things about Coach Robo, and I got to meet Coach Chesney, and they checked all my boxes, so I went ahead and committed to go ahead and lock my spot in, and yeah.
Awesome. You mentioned they checked all your boxes. I guess what were those coming from a program where you started for 3 years and obviously had a lot of playing time? What were you looking for in a new school?
Right. Really, I just wanted a coach and a staff that's going to push me to be the best, and I heard Coach Robo is one of the best in the business, so um, why not get coached by him for my last year? So that was a big part of why I committed.
Awesome. I know from watching some of your highlights, you played guard and center. How would you kind of describe your game? It seems like at least in some of the highlights you were knocking guys down pretty quickly.
Um, I'd say I'm more of an athletic type of lineman, but physical. So that's how I really pride myself on playing my game. Our old O line coach, Coach and he uh he really programmed us, I would say, instilled in us to be physical no matter what you do, no matter who you're playing. So that really stuck with me and helped me elevate my game.
Awesome. Do you prefer guard or center, or is it I guess what do you expect to play at JMU? Is it kind of anywhere they stick you on the line, or is there a specific spot you're looking?
I'll play wherever, honestly, wherever I'm needed, whatever can help out the team. But guard is looking where I'll compete at. So
Awesome. That makes sense. I was curious too, during the transfer process, you had mentioned numerous offers, obviously quite different schools, right, with New Mexico and Akron and JMU all across the country. When you only have a few weeks to decide, I guess what's the process like for you in picking a school, and how do you compare? I guess a challenging comparison between New Mexico and JMU and Akron, obviously very different schools and very different regions.
right. So I'm actually graduating in May, so I've got a little bit of time. But
Right.
with the visit I just took, it was go ahead and do it because the portal, it's you don't know what's going to happen. They can go and find another me at the drop of a dime. So, once I went on the visit and heard everything I needed to hear and um, that nature, I went ahead and committed. So, uh, I just think that was the best thing for me to do. So that's kind of where we went with it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good point about you've got, I guess technically, right, you could have waited longer through the spring even, but it's tough with the portal and sort of how it goes. What's it like as a player these days with the transfer portal and how quickly things can change in terms of open spots, roster spots being filled? What's it like to navigate that?
It's tough, especially being a 1 year guy. So some schools don't have spots open right now because they had to fill in for spring.
Mhm.
Some guys have open spots. You have some coaches you may talk to and not hear back from, and it's just a lot of moving pieces. So one thing I can say about JMU is they say consistent, and they wanted me to come up as soon as possible. I didn't plan on taking visits until the spring, but some told me to just go ahead and go to JMU on a visit. So yeah, but the portal it was an interesting process. I enjoyed getting recruited again and getting to meet other coaches, but Coach Robo really stood out to me. So
How different is it going through the recruiting process now compared to when you were in high school? I guess how much more information do you have about what you're looking for?
my journey was a little different. I didn't really get highly recruited out of high school. I was a little on the smaller side, so nobody really, offered me. Um, I had like Tennessee Tech, Campbell, and West Point. So that's how I ultimately ended up choosing Campbell. But it is different because you know, the knowledge you get, the things you see in college, you know, it's more about the little things, you know, the strength and conditioning staff, the O-line coach, how they run their team. So it's things like that that make you really sit and think about what school you want to go to.
Yeah, that all makes a ton of sense. It's a crazy process with the portal and everything like that, but super exciting. I know you mentioned your game being physical and athletic. Is there anyone you model your game after, and sort of when did you, I guess, become a an offensive lineman who really focused on those different traits?
Um, I wouldn't say model, but I like to watch Creed Humphrey from Kansas City. I just think he's a good overall center, and I used to watch him. But those traits, like I said, were really instilled in me from my last O-line coach. That's really what we prided ourselves on up front. So every day in practice, you know, it was about being physical. It doesn't matter if you mess up. It doesn't matter if you miss a block. You know, we can fix that in film. But if you're not physical, none of that matters. So that's really how those traits came upon me.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And had you heard about JMU before the recruitment process? Did you know much about the school and the football program, or did you sort of learn, I guess, over the last few weeks?
No, I did. We played them back in, I want to say, 2021,
Yeah.
my freshman year. So I was familiar with the program, and they used to be in the CAA and all that. So I was familiar with them. So yeah, I know about their culture. You know, they have winning programs. So you know, you see them all over social media, and so I had a little bit of knowledge. But over this past weekend on the visit, I just got a deeper knowledge in how they run things.
Makes sense. So did you play in Bridgeforth in 21?
Sure.
What was that experience like? What do you remember from that game?
I really remember the atmosphere, you know, they were still FCS
Yeah.
and you know, for a FCS school, that atmosphere was real FBS like. So I really enjoyed playing there. And yeah, that's about it. The atmosphere.
Awesome. Well, I know fans are excited to have you, and you mentioned Coach Robo is certainly beloved by JMU fans and players. So I think it's exciting for you and exciting for fans to have a 3-year starter joining the program. So thanks so much for your time and good luck with everything this final semester and moving to Harrisonburg.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.